So, the funny thing, a lot of people recently been talking about the anniversary stuff and how. So, let me preface this by talking about last year during September 28th and around this time when right now it's Moon Chase, the Moon Chase festival, right? And it's an analog to the Mid Autumn festival. So was the Lantern Rite. And here's the funny part. So, MiHoYo decided to release Genshin Impact during, late September, early October. It made sense because in China you have the national independence, the national holiday, and which is October 1st, and then you have the Mid Autumn. I want to say it's sometime in either late September to early October. It's in that time frame. So you have basically two holidays back to back. Players get like a whole like normal people get like a whole week off work, and it's called the Golden Weekend, and it's a great time for people to sit down, have a lot of free time, and play games. So MiHoYo was trying to release this game right on that mark. So I don't know if it was COVID days or something else. It could have been, but when the game came out and it came around this time, players were expecting the Lantern Rite event, the Lantern Rite festival, and everybody knew that it was basically the in-game version of the Moon Cake Festival, the Mid-Autumn Festival, etc., etc. And that was pretty obvious. The event was in the beta, so everybody knew there was such an event, and it was supposed to be a big deal. But the event didn't come out, and later on we knew that there were like serious bugs with like the event, and it just could not be released. It was not. It was very much not ready for release whenever the game came out. But when players asked, MiHoYo was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Where's the Lantern Rite Festival? Like it's like a week past freaking Mid Autumn, and this event is nowhere to be seen." And MiHoYo was like, "Well, you see," and they make up a bullshit excuse. What they ended up going was the excuse was that, oh, it's a fictional world and it does not have any real world holidays that's counterpart to it, and everybody knew it was bullshit because people play the beta. They knew what was going on. Now, yeah, like when MiHoYo first released Genshin Impact, like their biggest rival, Tencent, they definitely sent like hate bots and like haters, paid or not, just to go after MiHoYo and bring the ratings down. Like at the lowest peak, this is the lowest peak in global, but at the lowest peak in MiHoYo, I think the rating for Genshin Impact was like 5.1 out of 10. Right now it's 5.9, down from 6.0. Okay, so as much as people think right now it's bad, it's not that bad. Back then, that was bad. MiHoYo, brought out this brand new game, and suddenly they managed to make enemy of the entire internet, like entire Chinese people, because Mid-Autumn, holidays kind of a big deal. So now, when you take a look at the situation, you're just like, instead of saying, making up excuses, saying, oh, the Lantern Rite, not the lunar the Mid-Autumn Festival is not the Mooncake Festival equivalent. It's its own thing. Would it have been better for them to just come out and say, hey, the event is bugged. It's broken. We just can't release this. Like, we'll still celebrate Mid-Autumn, it's just gonna be maybe like 2 weeks late. Yeah, people are gonna bitch. Tencent bots are still gonna raid them and gut them. Yeah. Like, but are they gonna get the same kind of backlash that they got back when it first released? Probably not. Because at that point, you're giving people benefit of the doubt that you're actually doing something about, you know, the problem. And that's really what I actually, when people talk about the anniversary and the lack of it, I think that is what happened. Because one of the first things that people think about when they think about things that are leading up to this whole breakdown, this whole outrage and stuff, was the Yoimiya thing, you know, her kid, which, you know, is another thing. But the biggest one is the 2.1 story, which a lot of people felt was rushed and was not as well written as the 2.0, which I kind of do agree with. Like, 2.0 got like serious stuff going on. 2.1 was a little bit of a rushed resolution to it. It did not flesh out the characters and resolve them nearly as well as they should have. And in the end, that's what I think happened. They needed to push out 2.1. And we kind of got to see what kind of a product 2.1 was. Not terrible, but you can see like there was some cutting of corners. There was that little bit of deficiency in quality control with the writing and character development and just patch quality in general. That they probably just never got around to the anniversary. But they're probably like pushing out the patch and they're like, shit, the anniversary is literally in 1 week. We got nothing. What do we do? Well, let's give them, we already said we were gonna give away 10 wishes, so let's push that 10 wishes out. Maybe it'll buy some time. Which it did, but then they didn't say anything. Now, if they said, hey, like, the anniversary is coming, it's gonna be like, maybe next patch, it's gonna be a whole 6 weeks late, but we're working on it, we're just so goddamn behind schedule. Y'all seen what 2.1 became, you know? We're not exactly too proud of that either. Just, you know, letting y'all know, we're under a time crunch. We have to take the holidays off because it's the law. And also, you know, we've been working very hard. We deserve the holiday. It's just how it is. We'll get around to the anniversary when we get around to it. The concert will still go on, but the events and, you know, we're still working, getting to that. And, you know, if they communicated that... Now, I have to make a disclaimer. This is just my speculations on how things go. Because after being a working adult in like companies and institutions and organizations, whatever you thought about like big companies and institutions and how they have their shit together, they definitely don't. And I can absolutely assure you that. No matter how big the company is, like, there's always something going on, putting some things on delays, and not meeting certain deadlines. But the way I see it is that they probably just messed up the schedule and they couldn't push it out in the patch, and they were too embarrassed to communicate with us, and then we just automatically jump to the conclusion that there wasn't going to be one because, well, if they say nothing, we're just going to take that there's nothing. and in the end, it probably cost them a lot more in reputation and everything else than if they just kind of, kind of manned up to the situation and explain themselves, let us know what's going on. Yeah, people are still gonna be mad. Like, no kidding. People are gonna rag on them and stuff, but hey, at least they know what's going on and they'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Hell, even if it was a lie that they're pushing out the anniversary or whatever, it still gives people benefit of the doubt. Okay, maybe they are working on something instead of this. Well, it's instead of the limbo. So that's why when this this whole like whatchamacallit, we call it the damage control package. The damage control package came out. I was excited. I was like, that's cool. It wasn't because I'll probably get 10 rolls out of it and then fragile resin and a set of wings that are kind of okay. Looks nice on Ningguang, matches with her outfit, and well, not the greatest match on Jolie. But it was, hey, they see that there's stuff going on and they're responding. For the first time, in a long time, they started responding to, player communications and stuff.